Hey, RPM Trey Vietnam in here making breakfast for my kids. It's a little bit of a late breakfast. They didn't already had little snacks or cereal, whatever they decide to get. So we got a little brunch kind of a thing going here. They've been really excited about egg sandwiches lately. So I've been making the egg sandwich because they like the eggs, and some of them like bacon, some of them like sausage, and putting everything on the bread to make a sandwich instead of scrambled eggs on the side, sausage on the side, whatever else. You just put it all on the sandwich, and they've been liking that lately. So here's another day of, you know, breakfast sandwiches for the kids. My kid's situation is crazy because, it really is a undeniable testimony to the kind of person that I am in general. I have 4 kids of my own. 4 times I had to announce to my mother and the rest of my family that I was going to be a father. 4 times. That's how many times that happened. But I have a 12-year-old stepson, and I also have a 6-year-old, almost 7-year-old. Somehow I got a stepdaughter with my ex that came after our relationship. So it's not like a kid that was there before me and my ex's relationship, and then that was a stepchild like that. And then we grew into our relationship to have a child after she already had one. That's not what happened. She had no kids. Me and her had a child, and then the child that she had after me and her breakup fell by default into my care when her father is not around, was not around, doing too much of anything, and now he don't even live in the same state. So when I'm involved with my son that I have with my ex, it's hard for me to leave his sister out. She's standing right there, watching me pick him up, buy him things and stuff. And it's been like that since she was a little baby. So it's all she knows is me like that. More of a father figure to her than her own father. And somehow I become the stepfather in a way to a child that came after our relationship. So my son's sister is here often, just as often as he is, for the most part. There's times when he's here and she's not, but she is always welcome just as he is. I ponder her life and what she's going to be like when she grows up. I want to play as much of a positive influence in her life as possible. The idea of somebody hurting her pisses me the fuck off, makes me want to hurt somebody. Nobody better not touch none of these kids, you see what I'm saying? That type shit. So she gets all of the same love and care as the rest of them because she deserves it, because innocent kids should not be ignored. Growing up, I remember the feeling of being left out of place, excluded, and shit like that. So I know what that feels like. So if I can keep some kids from feeling like that as often as possible, then that's cool. So when it comes to my kids, any other kids that are around, especially if they're closely related, involved at all, it's hard for me to ignore them, bro. I have to just include them. So Christmas, birthday gifts, all that shit, like, they all just get the same thing, man, because that feeling of being left out, of being excluded from something like family identity, it's hard for me to watch it. I can't do it. So I have to include all the kids. So they're all in the basement right now playing. I'm pretty sure there will be some interruptions from their loud asses. They'll come up here asking me, is it done yet? Is it done yet? With the food and all that. But let's get the topic. Let's see if I can multitask here without overcooking the bacon. And I know how they like their eggs too. They like their eggs just done enough to be solid, no brown. They want no brown. Man, my kids is picky, bro, and that's my fault. I just kind of give them what the hell they want because I know life is about to kick their ass when they grow up. So it's like you don't want to coddle the kids, right? You don't want to coddle them because that's bad. You setting them up for failure if you coddle the kids, right? But there's something about going easy on the kids to give them some kind of peace and protection because you know when they grow up there's going to be none of that. Nobody's going to give them shit. They're going to have to earn it, take it, compromise for it, and all type of shit. And it is what it is, man. Having kids and being around kids really puts you in that. It keeps my my childhood in my perspective at all times. I'm always thinking about my childhood because of them. Very often wondering if things that they are doing is things that I've done, and then sometimes I find that confirmation that we are all one. We are more alike than what we think because I find myself yelling at my kids sometimes the same way that my mom would yell at us, saying the same stuff. And I'm going, this must have been what I was doing when she said that. There's no way that this is what I was doing. So it's a beautiful thing, man. They call it the cycle of life. It don't take no death for you to realize that the cycle of life is passing you by on your on a day-to-day basis, and trying not to be so distracted is an important task. You got to constantly try not to be so distracted so that you can see what's going on in front of you. Speaking of those kind of distractions, I was talking to my 21-year-old son because one of my kids is older. He's 21. I call him my man child because the next one just turned. My next child just turned 8 a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago. So there's a 13-year difference between my first child and then the next one. But then after I had that next one, I had 2 more kids back to back to back. So the last 3 came real fast. So there's a big age difference. When my mom was 21, I was like 6. So my son is 21 right now. And he can't imagine having no fucking 6-year-old. But I said, yeah, that's what your grandma had to do for me. Your age with a 6-year-old. Think about it. His mind be blown. Every time it crosses his mind, he's just like, man, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, I know, man. It's crazy. But yeah, man, kids are, it's a beautiful thing, man. The whole cycle of life. But so I was talking to my son, my 21-year-old son the other day. And off the top of my head, I said to him, because me and him are, chopping it up. He's a good kid, real smart, way more interested in serious things than what I was at his age. And then he's got me for backup to bounce ideas off of and to, shoot the shit with. And I love it having a son that I can talk to like a man, like a friend, What's up, Trey? I'm doing a live stream, okay?
Is it almost done?
Yeah, it's almost done. Come here, you got some on your face. I don't want it to get in your eye. You got a, ooh, careful now. Hold on. Okay, a little piece of glitter that was almost in your eye. It's almost done. I'm making a YouTube video. My camera's going over there. So that's what I'm talking to. But the egg sandwiches, they're going, bro. They're almost done, all right? We're working on them.
I'm told they did it almost done.
Okay, but you guys can stay down there until they're all the way done. But I'll let you guys know. But tell them almost, okay?
Okay.
I know you guys are hungry. I'm working on it. All right. But yeah, so I was telling my son, my 21-year-old son, I said, he says, man, life is crazy because middle age is 32, 34 years old, considering the age of retirement and all of that. I said, yeah, 32 is crazy. 34, 32, 34 is crazy because that is the middle age, right? But I said, how come don't nobody go? I was like, you know why don't nobody go through their midlife crisis until they late 40s and 50s and shit? He's like, yeah, that's kind of late for a midlife crisis. Why does that happen like that? I was like, because motherfuckers have the crisis because they realize that they fucking missed it. And my son was like, damn, that's deep. I was like, yeah, bro. And I can tell that I'm feeling it because I don't feel my age and I'm 44. Not mentally, not really physically either. Like it just don't feel the same. It don't feel the same as what I thought in my head when I was 20. So when I'm 50, 55, 60, and it hits and I go, oh, I'm getting old, it's gonna be like, you missed the fucking middle ground, nigga. You 10 years out. You on the back nine, buddy. You almost out of here. Like, that's where the crisis comes in, bro. Because it's hard to have a midlife crisis when you're 32 and you look 23 and bitches still like you and you just now like really earning money because you kind of figured your shit out. And you might have just be having kids. You're not feeling middle age. You feel like life has just begun. Boy, you halfway. That shit crazy. And then when you realize that you was halfway 20 years ago when you 55, you freak the fuck out. I can see that shit coming, bro. I already see it, bro. I can already tell, bro, because I'm already not happy with the idea, right? And I know I'm lost in my shit right now. I'm speaking to you right now, Engineer X. What up, bro? Yeah, man. I try to be, man, I try to be observant and real and like, you know what's crazy? Like, I'm an artist, right? I haven't drawn a picture in a while, but I like to draw. I had to show y'all some of my drawings and shit sometimes. Y'all be like, damn, Trey, you did that? Yeah, I'm good. Like, surrealist kind of drawing. Makes your shit look as realistic as possible because taking little bits and pieces of what I think I see and forming the picture is what I've always done since I was a kid. My mom said I could write my name. I mean, I can draw pictures of animals and shit before I can write my name legibly. That's what she told me. Ever since I was a kid, she was like, you would draw them pictures and you couldn't even write your name so I can read it. It was illegible. But if you drew a picture of a fucking dog, I knew that was a dog and not a horse, not a cat. She knew that I knew, right? And that's wild. But I try to do that in life in general. Oh, if I witness things in life, I apply that shit, bro. I keep the big picture in focus way too often. And I really feel like I cracked that code right there to my son. And I hadn't thought about it or seen it in that way, but just having these conversations just makes things pop out. Just engaging in the conversation and getting your mind going and just speaking and thinking and putting things together. When you do that, bro, I think there's a wisdom behind that kids need to be taught to think and act like that and observe things and talk things out, especially with other people. All that shit needs to be a real thing. The idea of philosophical talks and debates over coffee or beer or whiskey or whatever between two grown men for a few hours in a coffee shop or a bar or something. Bring that shit back. Don't nobody do that shit over a chess game or nothing, bro. We need to be doing that. Podcast is kind of doing it, but podcast is so dominated by like political shit that nobody really gets into the real life shit, bro. And I can already feel the crisis going to blindside me because I do not feel my age, and that's weird. Because something's telling me maybe I should. Man, I will in 15 years when it's too late. I know that's what's going to happen, bro. I can see it. It's kind of scary. So good luck to y'all. So let me shout out the merch real quick. The merch website is under construction right now. I got some tax and EIN things that I'm trying to iron out right now for the merch. But that will be up and running again, hopefully in about like a week or so. But until then, check this out. This is I got shirt series because I'm weird, right? So I got t-shirts in the merch store that are intended that you buy all three of them because there's a theme or a story or a linear path with the messages on the shirt. So you guys have probably seen my other sweatshirt. Part one of this. This is part 2 of 3. Part 1 is about they're all about the Bardos. Part 1 is The Chikai Bardo, that moment of death is what they call this in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. We all live in the Bardos. It's the arena for the conscious experience, right? And there's three parts of the Bardos that we all go through. One is your life, your conscious life, right? And then there's the moment of your death, and then there's the rebirth, right? So the first series is the first shirt in the series is the Chikai Bardo. That's the moment of death, the moment that your soul says, boom, separated from the body, motherfucker. Surprise! And then you start seeing the truth of what's really going on. That there is something after quote unquote life, and you look right at the shit. If you go and you flinch like that, yeah, they got something for you. Then you step into the second stage. If your death cannot be accepted upon you realizing that you're looking at your own dead body, that is you, and that you are dead, if you cannot maintain control over that moment, your soul is instantly sent to this right here, the Chanyid Bardo. This is where, like it says at the bottom of the shirt, karma, turning you back into the dream and the dreamer. You are the God you're looking for, and the dream is you, your life. You doing all of this shit yourself. You're projecting and receiving all of the information that will totally dominate your perception on reality now or in this quote unquote afterlife. In the Bardos, bro. That's you. It's you doing it. And life is crazy like that because everything that you see in life outside of that perspective does the exact opposite of what the honest and real perspective of your spirituality, where it's supposed to be. Right away, you are bombarded with aggression, a dark history, a lost history, a scrambled history of who you are as a person, who we are as humanity, and what the goal is. They tell you, search for God, soul searching. You're running around looking for something that's in your hands. You ever did that shit with your phone? You looking for your phone, but you got your phone in your hand? Or it's in the pocket and you tap the pocket and then realize you were tapping your phone when you tap the pocket, right? Yeah, that's what you're doing when you're quote unquote soul searching. The search begins and ends right here with you. It's you, right? Life and what's going on planet Earth is perfect to steal that acknowledgement from you right away. You are lost in the Bardos, motherfucker. You get lost right away, bro. And life goes, yes, you are into the game, motherfucker. You are priming yourself to be taught the valuable lesson. You need to bail. You need to forget where the fuck you came from, what's going on, and all of that. That you've been here before, and all of that. You have to completely forget that. It will taint the fact that you've been, that you consciously, without you knowing it, you have wiped the slate clean, started over, made a semi-conscious choice to come back here because there's something that you need to fix or to square that shit. There's something going on. You got something to say, something to prove to yourself or somebody else or something. That's why you are here, to do something. So when religions say, you're here with a purpose, God brought you here for a reason, it's kind of true. But it's you. You the fucking reason. You call the shots. You are the reason, and you got to figure it out because nobody else is going to figure it out for you. But it is something, though. You're here for something. But what that is isn't, oh, I'm here to create peace on earth. Man, that's not what it is, bro. Shit, weeks ago, I thought I was here to save the planet. No, I'm not. I am not here to save the fucking planet, bro. I am here to take whatever lesson in spirituality that I have not learned in the fucking 1,000 times I was here before, to try to realize what the fuck it is so I can escape this shit and stay inside of this ethereal realm of knowledge and awareness inside of the great consciousness where we all came from in the first place. But you can't go back until you square whatever the fuck you trying to square in this existence right here, right? And in the meantime, while you're doing that, right, I'll say what happens is the what happens is that your death brings along with it the real karma. The real karma is whatever the fuck it is that you have done in your life, right or wrong. It won't even matter. This is what's crazy about the Bardos. It don't matter. The Chanya Bardo will fuck your shit up, bro. What's crazy is that positive or negative, it doesn't matter. The test is that in the midst of the Chikai Bardo, in the moment of your death, or in the Chanya Bardo, all of your karma turning you back into the dream and the dreamer, in the midst of all of that, if you cannot reconcile or realize that everything that you have been going through in your life is you, it's you. You have indirectly manifested every problem, every conflict, every battle in your entire fucking life with the purpose of teaching your soul something, this hidden fucking secret of a fucking mission that you're on, to crack your own code to realize what the fuck it is you came back here for, so you can solve it and then accept your death and everything. You gotta let all that shit go, right? If you don't let that shit go in the Chikai Bardo, the moment of your death, or in the Chanya Bardo, while your karma, all the things that you are dwelling on, positive or negative, if you cannot let that go and say, that wasn't something that I did to or for somebody, that was me creating this psychedelic, weird ass experience of interactions with other quote unquote human beings and souls to figure out something, to learn something, to carry something on with you into the Bardos, bro. I'm so horrible cracking eggs. I'm the worst egg cracker. I swear, it's gonna be some point in the middle of this where I'm gonna have to really perform almost like a surgery on my fucking egg stock here to retrieve bits and pieces of the eggs. I don't let nothing slide, but yo, I gotta retrieve often. I'm just not really good at cracking the eggs. I just can't figure it out, bro. Every now and then I get a good one. I go, damn, how did I crack this so well? That was smooth. The fucking crack is almost fucking a straight line. It popped open so easy, not a fucking fracture in it. Then other times it's like, damn, that's a fucking 1,000 crumbling pieces of fucking eggshell falling around here. But in the Chanya Bardo, bro, you have to reconcile it in the midst of the Chanya Bardo. If you think you hear your daughter's sweet voice laughing and giggling and you go reaching for her, your ass is coming back through the Sidpa Bardo. The Sidpa Bardo is the rebirth. And all of that shit in the Chanya Bardo, all your karma, good and bad, whatever you seem to be emotionally attached to, it won't matter. It'll all send you back. If you go, oh, I love you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm scared. If you do that shit, the fuck, you going back in there till you square that shit, bro. And then your ass will be in the Sidpa Bardo, the rebirth, bro. Coming right back to this bitch. That's what happens. I'm almost fucking certain of it. And I can tell because every problem or issue that I be having in my life, bro, when it's a real problem or a real issue, very much like a lot of dreams that I've had in my life, they are reoccurring. It's the same thing. It's like the universe is nagging at me like, fix it, square it, understand it, solve it, get the fuck away from it, leave it alone, let it go. Like, man, this shit is crazy, bro. I can feel it doing that shit, man. That's why I know that that's what this is. We are in the Bardos, bro. But let me get to the actual topic now that I got that out the way about the shirts. I got 2 or 3 made. The Chikai Bardo, the moment of death. The Chanya Bardo, karma turning you back into the dream and the dreamer, right? This is the back of it, if y'all can see that. Right? The third one is the Sidpa Bardo, and I think I want to put a distorted image of one of my kids as a child, as a baby, right? On the shirt to illustrate the rebirth, right? But I took this picture that's on this shirt. It wasn't, I didn't manipulate this picture of me on this shirt in some computer program or an app or something like that. I literally took the picture while I was whipping my hair back. And when I took this picture after my first ever airplane trip to California in like 2013, right? not knowing that I would be putting that image on the shirt, talking this type of shit to y'all on the fucking YouTube. But that's when I took this picture of me, and it's not distorted. That is just me whipping my hair and a blur in the picture. I didn't do shit else to it, but it looks like I'm being pulled away, and this is what the Bardos does to you, bro. It's a it's the craziest psychedelic trip that you'll ever experience is your life, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Shit, 2013, I was 32, bro. I was born in 1980. This was dope about the year that I was born. I'm gonna spit this quick and then we're gonna talk this political shit because I got a lot of shit to say about this political shit lately. I was born in 1980. In 1981, of course, I turned 1 year old. In the year 2000, I turned 20. If you take the year 2000 and you take the first two digits and the second set of digits and you put a plus sign between them to add them together, you get how old I am. In 1997, I turned 17. The 1 in the front and then a 7 at the end is my age. When 2000 came, then you can take the two first set of numbers and then the second set of numbers, put a plus between them, and I can always figure my age out. So when I'm old as fuck, I'm always going to be able to go, well, if I remember this and I can't remember how old I am because I'm fucking, losing my shit, it'll always be understood that if you take the first two digits and the second two digits in the year and add them together, you'll get my age. So in 2017, how old did I turn? 37. So that's kind of crazy. But in 2013, man, I was 32 years old, man, and that wasn't. It don't seem like it was that long ago, but it was. That's weird. I had to show y'all some pictures of me when I was in my late 20s and early 30s for the ones that I can find, because then y'all see that I do look different. I can see my age on me a little bit. Not like I look old, but I can look at myself and tell that I don't look the way I did when I was 30. I can see it. Right? But hey, let's talk this political shit because they some bitches and I'm tired of it. And no one has to like this shit. Check this out. Trump recently said something about, talking about homeland security and all that other shit, the border and all of that. Yeah, a lot of Trump supporters wanted him to go hard on that shit, right? And now he going super hard like I thought they would. I knew they would do this. During his first administration, Trump said, take the guns first, due process second. That's what the fuck Trump said. Your God, the one that everybody loves, right? Your Highness, Your Majesty, right? All you fucking Trump supporting fucking, man, crazy. When they give you the lesser of two evils for you to vote for, you have to know that any other time in the history of this fucking country when that has been the case, whoever gets in that happens to be considered the lesser of two evils when people can recognize that both of these fucking candidates are kind of crazy, he always disappoints not just the people that voted against him, but the people that voted for him. Everybody always starts sounding the same after the motherfucker gets into the office. Now all these Trump supporters doing all this bitching and crying about their precious Second Amendment. Trump is a fucking tyrant, bro, like everybody else. This motherfucker actually just said something about quote-unquote homegrown terrorists, domestic terrorists, after, talking about some international shit. He said, we're going to get the homegrown ones too. Come on, bro. Who could you possibly be talking to? By the very definition of it, anybody who goes against the government, to them, is a homegrown terrorist. But in reality, we all have a right, responsibility, and duty to tell a tyrannical government to fuck off. So basically what Trump is saying is what the fuck it is I've been telling you that whoever sits in that seat is going to say, regardless of what it is that you vote for or what the issue was that made you say I had to vote for this candidate because of how they made me feel about this particular topic. Man, fuck all that. What really happened is they give you puppets that can appeal to certain people so they can put on this illusion of a democracy as if whatever happens after that, y'all should not revoke because on some level you guys chose this. So fight it out. Go through all legal processes if you want to change certain things. Good luck, motherfucker, because we'll tie you up in red tape and you'll never really make any real change going through their shit. And while they got all of these bumpers and speed bumps, and between us and them, they put somebody in there, then they go rock whatever shit they want to rock, and then you can't stop their ass. You're not going to stop them. All this fucking hope and faith in the Constitution and other laws on the books. Oh, they're breaking these laws, or isn't that illegal, man? Fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck about arguing what's legal or illegal with them anymore. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I know what's supposed to happen, bro. Huh? What up? I'm making a YouTube video too, so try to. I mean, you guys can talk to me and shit like that, but I mean, they're always going to do whatever the fuck it is that they want to do and whatever it is they need to do. If you know how the world works and you know that they have a global agenda, some things that they want to accomplish, if you know that and you can, if you listen close enough, you ain't got to listen that close. But if you listen, you can hear them say what the plan is. If you listen to the plan with some sincerity, like you actually give a fuck about what it is that you act like you care during election time, all y'all so passionate and into it then. But you're not into it enough to listen to me and other people tell you that listening close enough to them about what it is they want will tell you what the rest of the plan is or how that must go. They cannot do to this country what it is that they talk about doing to this country to integrate us into some world system. They can't better integrate us into some world system unless they fuck that dollar up and take them guns and tell you to stop talking that shit you talking. Those three things have to happen. When you see them doing that, you have to know that it is what it is that they are doing to get us to get into this more of a uniform, controllable global framework, and you're supposed to oppose that at all costs by keeping your gun, saying what the fuck you want to say, and calling them out for crimes that they committed to establish the money shit in the first place. The problems will actually give you the solution at the same time if you stop and listen. But y'all some bitches. Y'all just some bitches, bro. Niggas bitches. When I said nobody's gonna hurt my kids so they're gonna see the worst side of me ever, I mean that when I said that, and I mean for anybody. It's not gonna really matter who shows up or what they wearing or who sent them or what the paperwork say. If this is what it is that you showed up for, you are gonna get that reaction out of me. I don't give a fuck. You can't care. You can't care, right? As soon as you care, they get you. They love it when you care because they don't. Because then they go, yeah, care, be scared, all that other shit. You got to stop being scared of them and all of that, bro. Hey. Could y'all keep it down a little bit? Just a little bit. Don't be play fighting either. If you do, accept it when you get hurt. Apologize when you did that shit. Okay, well, accept it because you joined in on the fun. If you can't accept it, get away from them. That's the way they told us when we was growing up, horse playing and shit. You know how boys is anyway. Shit, when I was growing up, WWF was the thing, not that WWE shit. Ultimate Warrior, Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, Hulk Hogan, Incredible Hulk. I mean, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage. All of these guys were very popular when I was a kid, right? We was always WWF fucking wrestling each other and shit. Suplex and all that. We was trying to be official. We wasn't just play fighting. We was trying to do exactly what it was that they were doing. And when we played like that and people got hurt, whoever hurt somebody had to apologize, and whoever got hurt got to accept the apology, or else everybody had to stop playing. Right? That's how you got to do it, man, with little boys and shit, because they gonna do the horse plan. I try to stop them, but it don't work. So then I lay down the rules. And when the rules don't work, then I got to jump in and tell everybody to separate, disperse. Go to a different part of the house and hang out by your damn self if you can't figure it out. But I try to give them an out, right? But, yeah, Trump is crazy. They talking about get the homegrowns, and if you advocate for due process, then you're also a domestic terrorist and harboring a fugitive of justice and whatever the fuck else they've been saying. Listen, man. They're going to talk tough to scare you into some level of compliance or stepping down so that their job is easier. All you got to do with government when they on that bullshit is tell them that if they want any compliance out of us, they're going to have to fight because we got guns and we ain't budging no more. Everything they want to say to us, they better be fucking shooting. Or else, not going to listen. We ignoring y'all asses. If you don't do that, they're going to keep on moving forward with the expectation that things go along as they have, and that y'all don't really do nothing to them even when they breaking their own fucking laws and shit right in front of you. You ain't going to do shit. You a bitch. And that's what they counting on. They are counting on that. If you ask them behind closed doors what they think about y'all and the idea of a revolution, they will laugh. Not because you can't do it or because it's not deserved. They will laugh thinking, who the fuck gonna have the balls to jump and do that shit in the middle of this shit? They scared as hell. They some bitches. That's what they think. Fuck out of here. All that punk ass shit. You're supposed to tell them to fuck off. You're supposed to keep your gun and then actually do all the things they tell you not to do. Grip your gun and talk your shit. That's what they don't want you to do, so do it. And you gotta not be scared to die. You gotta stop being scared of that shit. You're not gonna live forever as long as you avoid government. Tell them to fuck off too, because all they can do is threaten you with your death. Who gives a fuck? Stop caring so fucking much. Engineer X, of course, Rick James is in this bitch, posting all the links and all that. Thanks, bro. Cognac Kid was in here, said peace out. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe he stepped in to try and listen to what was going on and then ducked out. Okay. Live long for the kids, yes. But live long enough to serve your purpose. That's what you got to do. And if your kids are part of your purpose, then that's okay. Because I think it would be also very awesome in my life if I can say something good to help my kids not just get through life, but to save their soul. That's the ultimate goal, right? If they can save their soul, then okay. But in order for you to live for the kids or live for anything, you got to understand the Bardos. Once you understand the Bardos, you'll realize that everything you do in life, including caring for your kids, is something that's inherent in the game, but your soul's got nothing to do with that shit. Crazy. Y'all don't understand. You don't understand though. Okay, so we got bacon and sausage. 2 of those. Kaden! Yeah? You want sausage? Yeah. Okay. Jordan, Zavea, 2 boys. Sausage for Kaden, we good. We just need 1 more. All right. Yeah, you gotta. Okay, so Swallow House said you gotta let them know that they are gods. God is not outside, but inside. That's how you save their soul. Yeah, for sure. But it's deeper than that, because the God inside of you has to be so divorced of what happened. See, this was awesome about who I am as a person and how I think and how my thought process has led me to the things that I settle on as the truth, right? Back when all I cared about was breaking my own and other people's illusion that the Christian God was the way, right? Back when I was in my Facebook days, if you can go back like 9 or 10 years ago, my Facebook name was literally God Slayer. That was my Facebook name, God Slayer. And in the midst of the online presence that I was creating by opposing all religions, at that point, I said to myself, a real God would have made a planet full of gods. And that's funny because now I'm like placing me saying that into a proper context. And I go, damn, I was right. I didn't even realize how right I was. I was saying that shit because it felt right. But then I realized that I was really onto something when I said that. Another thing that I said was that the only way a God can reconcile the pains in life that we experience down here is for some way, somehow he can convince me that none of it mattered. It's the only way I can reconcile the pain that goes on down here with kids being hurt and killed, wars and all this other shit, diseases, the greed, and how life can be considered expendable to people because of the greed about the money and the acquisition of resources and the control and shit. All of that shit sounds super crazy to me. I was like, how God gonna reconcile that? I don't want a heaven. If I have knowledge of all things, I will have knowledge of the pain and the suffering and the lost soul and all of that. So how could I rest? How could I ever rest in peace as long as these things actually exist somewhere? I didn't understand how a God could exist in any state of completion, peace, total love, peace, and all of that type of sweet ass shit? However, if he's actually all knowing and he is very much aware of all of the pain and suffering. None of it made sense to me, but I think I found the answer in the Bardos, bro. I think what the answer is that as disconnected to an emotional state and how these things go on earth, as disconnected as a God would have to be in order to be watching this and not doing anything. Sounds like he's just in the idea of a Christian God or a monotheistic God idea. God seems like he should care, but he'll actually allow us to quote unquote free will to have this shit play out. I couldn't imagine a God caring and leaving us alone, because then that means that he'd be throwing tantrums, going through fits of depression and disappointment and all type of shit. If he wanted something good, but he was emotionally invested in this shit. I said, man, at least describe a God to me that's not emotionally invested, because that's what it looks like. It's the only thing that made any proper sense. And when I was saying that, I didn't realize what type of gem I was on the verge of unearthing to show myself, and then maybe the world once I repeat this shit. But the trick to the Bardos is just like the assumption that I made about a God who would be watching all this shit and not doing anything, and how he seems like he's just emotionally uninvolved or has no stake in any of this shit, how it turns out. Come to find out, part of the trick to the Bardos, when you are lost in the Chanyad Bardo, in the afterlife, in your death, after not accepting your death, and you start clinging to things. You do bad shit, you're going to cling to that later, because you're going to know that it was wrong, and your soul won't let you forget that in the Bardos, bro. You're going to reflect on it. As soon as you reflect, it's going to build for you a karma that will send you back. That's what happens. In the Bardos, good or bad, the only way to get out of it, to save your soul from recycling, and so that you can just stay in the midst of the great consciousness, in the all, so you can just stay there in your consciousness. The only way to do that is not through good moral deeds, forgiveness, and all that other sweet shit. You can't be damned to never receive that ultimate awareness and presence with the all. You can't be damned to be refused that just because you did bad shit. The trick is accepting all of it as a manifestation of your own spirit to teach you something about the existence, and for you to let that shit go like a God would have to let this shit go. How else are you going to reconcile it into heaven unless there's some level of totally detaching from that shit? There is no other way to do that. That's what the Bardos does. Exactly. You die and you can't accept that shit. This is where you are now. What's up? Just about. You can come down. Yours is done. All y'all can come down here. Really, they're done now. I'm getting the last one off the stove right now. Go sit at the table. I'll bring it to you. Who wants that crust cut off?
Me.
You can sit here at the thing then, Zamaya. You want your crust cut? Okay, Zavea probably wants hers cut. Trey does. You want yours cut too? Okay, everybody but Caden. All right. That's the trick to the Bardos, but I think that's the trick to life. It's the ultimate oxymoron that's absolutely perfect to trap you here in this cycle of reincarnation, which is not a reward. You scared? Some people be so scared to death that reincarnation sounds good when really it's a punishment. You see how flip-flop everything is? The trick is to care about everything and then to not give a fuck about nothing in the midst of your death in the Bardos, bro. When the Chikai fucking hit you and you see that your soul is separated, drawn from the body, no more. It's not a pair anymore. What's up?
I don't want it. It's just cheese.
Okay, don't you worry about it. You always don't aggravate situations. Everything is peaceful right now until you said that. Chill. What's up? You want it? Okay, go sit down. I'll bring it to you. Oh shit. That's the trick, bro. You're supposed to care about everything and then nothing at the same time. And that does not mean nothing matters or be destructive. Because you can't be destructive in your midst of recognizing your soul's desire to be so free from the existence on planet Earth that you cannot be fooled into coming back. That's the trick. That's the trick, y'all. You're supposed to not care. You're supposed to give it up just the way it looks like a Christian God may have. There's no way in hell Christian God is any fucking there. Caring so much like they say he does, and then not putting himself through an emotional and existential fucking crisis himself by watching the pain and promising to never jump in and to do anything. It all sounds fucking crazy. And I think very loosely, if you know the Bardos enough, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, you can apply it to places where you can see that other bits and pieces of religious ideas have said similar stuff. They're saying the same kind of things, you know what I mean? Now, I mean, it seems like hey, I don't know. Could y'all be quieter? Don't argue over things that don't matter. That don't matter. Just sit down. So, in the midst of that, I would have to say there is some more. Trey, you don't got to respond like that when she says something that you don't agree with. Just say what you think, and maybe she'll go, "Oh, you're right." She might agree with you. Just tell her what you're thinking and see if she agrees first. All right? He fights right away. As soon as he hears something that he don't like, he's just like, "Fuck you, motherfucker." My youngest, he's 4 years old. He don't play, bro. It's kind of funny seeing different parts of my personality play out in some of the kids. None of them got the same DNA package deal from me. They all got the mix-up thing. None of them are really alike in how they respond to things, how they learn, how they express themselves, or nothing. They're all just different. What'd you say? Okay.
Is that mine?
Nah, it's not. But dude, I'm gonna get yours. If you that hungry, bro, like for real, relax yourself. Okay, but you can relax too, cause doing that ain't gonna make it go no fast. I'm gonna do yours last if you don't stop. Stop it, dude. You're gonna eat. It ain't like you ain't never ate before in your life, bro. That's the trick, man. When you don't have to agree with it. All you gotta do is just hear me or somebody else say it. Check out some YouTube videos. Buy the book, The Tibetan Book of the Dead, if you can find it. Study it. If you study it, you don't got to agree with it. Just study it so that you know what it is that they're saying, even if you don't agree, right? It's a sign of intelligence to be able to do that. Once you do that, you got to ask yourself, is what the Tibetan Book of the Dead is asking you for, does it seem like there's something in life that brings the truth of that to you in ways that form a very coherent projection on your soul's journey? If you do that, you will see that the most perfect thing that life could have ever done to you, in order for the game of life to work as it does, with the idea that your death isn't really death, that the point is for you to accept it and the things that you do and to not be afraid of it, to accept what it is that's going on. In order for all of that to be the trick to life, you have to expect that something's going to work really, really hard for you to do the opposite. And then you see very, very powerful social engineering and aspects of the human experience that do exactly that. That trap you in the best way possible, in the way that you know that the Tibetan Book of the Dead says this is what you need to do to free yourself. This is why them Tibetan monks leave their fucking families and try not to get married and don't have no kids and shit and go up to the fucking mountains and meditate and shit, because they're thinking, if I don't have any attachments, it'd be easier for me to get in the Bardos. Here, it'd be easy for me to get into the Bardos and not give a fuck, to let go, because that's the point. Letting go, recognizing it as all being a projection of your soul's journey with a purpose to teach you something. Did you catch it? If not, get your ass back in there. There's nothing out there to hurt you. Zamarian, turn that down some, please. Like way down, please. I mean, you can hear it, but not so loud. It's just a purpose. They tell you that the point is for you to not fear your death, and then what happens? You get the fear of death fucking rammed down your fucking throat since you were a fucking kid. Like, they won't stop doing it. Everywhere you go, here is this propulsion of fear behind the fact that you gonna check out one day. Hey, people over there, watch out, don't make it fall. Sit down, stop playing, don't make it fall. Turn that's way, come on now. Way down, keep going. A little more. One more, okay, right there. Okay, now if y'all be quiet, you can hear. What's going on in here? Let them know they are guys, and yeah, okay. Suave House, I hear what you're saying. That won't be enough. You know what's so crazy about the Bardos? Let's say you live. Here. Okay. I'm gonna do yours right now, Zamaria. This was so crazy about the Bardos. Let's say you live a good life. You're a moral person. You do good. You earn a lot of money that you ain't have to betray your humanity or somebody else's to get. Let's say everything is good and fine. You have an opportunity for a very long, extended confession of what you're guilty for in your death. Let's say you have a very long, drawn out opportunity at your deathbed to apologize for everything, to not leave nobody out, to make all your rights, to make all your wrongs right, and all of that shit. Everyone forgives you. Nobody's got any hard feelings. You gave all the money that you earned to a fucking charity. All this other shit. You donated blood or whatever the hell you did. Trying to be a good person. Shit. Just imagine all of the best things that a person could do. If you get into the Bardos and you emotionally hang on to anything positive or negative, you're coming back. Period. No, it's crazy. Positive and negative don't even matter. A lot of that shit is subjective anyway. Right? It's got nothing to do with nothing. Huh? No, man, it's cheese, egg.
Daddy, look what I found.
Yeah, like, huh? Oh, yeah. Você partiu meu coração. That's how you say you're breaking my heart in Brazilian Portuguese. It's a song. Because I wanted to learn how to say you're breaking my heart to my daughter when she was a real little baby, because she chose her mother over me the entire time she was breastfeeding. When the breastfeeding was up, she started treating me and her mama like equals. But until then, if I reached for her, she wouldn't go to me, not in public, not for her mom to put her down to do something. She wouldn't go to me. I talk loud, voice is deeper. I could see sometimes when I was talking that she would look at me like she was startled. So I go, oh yeah, she's scared. She's scared. I should talk a little softer, a little sweeter. But once she stopped breastfeeding, she started coming to me. But until then, every time she did, I was like, oh, you breaking my heart. Oh, you breaking my heart. I would say that to her. And sometimes she would come to me. She's real little, under a year old, right? She would come to me sometimes after that. Here you go, man. Got your sausage egg sandwich. There you go. Y'all, everything good? I got to do it like a server in a restaurant. Everybody good?
Yeah.
And does nobody need no refill on drinks? Everything all right? Okay. All right. Leave the tips on the table, cash on. Cause they be tweaking. It's like this. But what was I just saying? Yeah, man, the Bardos ain't no joke, bro. Life is so many aspects in life. Religious influence, governmental influences, social engineering, it all does something very well. It gives us such an abundance of things to latch onto, along with our natural and inevitable fear of the death, because you don't know what's going to happen after. In the midst of all of that, I think life on planet Earth is the perfect recycling center. Yeah, we are recycling souls down here, because they built society in such a way that they can almost guarantee it to be impossible for anybody to get up out of here. That's why these Tibetan monks and shit, man, that they deny society. And people say, how can you deny such a beautiful thing? Society is so beautiful in some aspects. It's not all bad. You guys are crazy. Some people think they're crazy. I don't think they're crazy. I totally get it. Because the love that I have for my children is in the midst of the Chanye Bardo, I know the sound of one of them crying or laughing will trap me in the Bardos. I can feel it. I can already understand why that would happen. And once you understand the Bardos, you can look for things that you can point out to be like, oh, that'll trap me. That'll send me back. And it's crazy. And you're not going to come back to this one. You'll come back to something else. But you will literally build upon the foundation of your fears and desires that you expressed in the Chanya Bardo. That's going to be the foundation of the building blocks of the kind of life you're going to be projected into next. And it won't be the same life, but it'll be a similar life with similar conflicts. So the idea of, I even think that the idea of government in and of itself that separates humanity in this hierarchy, that's a guarantee. Well, yeah, you coming back to the Bartles because it sets a stage for a spiritual and sociological conflict between you and other human beings that can't even be reconciled inside of the minds of a Trump supporter because of the expectations that they have in giving up a vote to a leader in and of itself is going to lead them to inevitable disappointment, beef, self-doubt, and their abilities to control.
That won't have any more sausage and eggs.
No more sausage and eggs. I can get you one more sausage, but your egg sandwich is all I got for you. Did you eat it all?
Yeah.
You didn't eat it all? Wait until you're done first. See, his eyes is always bigger than his stomach. Oh, okay, because you're trying to get seconds. I know. You thinking, you wondering maybe, right? Maybe. He'll ask for extra, and I'll give him extra. And then he won't even finish what he had at first. And he go, hey, I'm done. Because he thinks that he wants to eat more because he likes the way it tastes. And then his belly catch up to him, and now he don't want no more. The Bardos is a weird thing, man. Life is absolutely perfect for trapping souls here. It's a prison. You're in a prison body. That's what's going on. And it's absolutely perfect for it because all of the virtuous things that people think that they need to hang on to in life that makes their life good is going to be things that your soul is going to harp on, positive or negative, in the midst of your death. And it's going to say, then go back there and enjoy that shit then. Then go back there and live that shit then. Go back there and fix that shit then. That's what it does. You have to be in such a deep state of self-awareness and acceptance of these things that in order to master it, Tibetan monks will go to the mountains and lead their families to be like, leave me alone so I can get out of here. Because if y'all weigh on my emotions, I'm never going to get out of here. And it's positive or negative, it's going to do the same thing to you. And like I was saying earlier, that don't mean be destructive. Negative things you do have a way greater chance of trapping you in the Bardos and sending you back than the positive stuff. Positive stuff, it's still going to get you regardless. Like, y'all just, whatever y'all can't pick up off of what it is I'm saying, y'all might have to go read the book, man. Read the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I'll have to share one of the videos that I recently found that kind of like explain this well. I have to share it on my YouTube later on today, so be looking for that. It's hard to explain, man. It's hard to explain. And as hard to explain as it is, I can feel the power behind the veil that y'all don't even remember that you've been here 1,000 times. I can feel the power behind society and how it's set up and what it is that means in the idea of the cycle of the Bardos, bro. Not in the idea of the cycle of an election. I don't give a fuck about that shit. That's just retarded. It's a game. And y'all know that it's a game because if you go back 3,000 years, you ain't got to go back that far. Let's go back 300 years. And if you can imagine America not being a country yet and all of the possibilities that life had to offer to mold that into the future or not, or to damage it. Things could have happened in the past that would guarantee that America never happened. And a good historian can go back before America was established. Oh, okay. You can throw it in the trash. Thank you. A good historian can go back and point out things that were far from imagination. Go ahead. That was far from imagination.
sausage.
You want one sausage?
Yeah.
Okay, here. That's why I made extra ones, because I knew you was gonna want some more. There you go. Enjoy it, dude. It's good. You want this? Go ahead. Go sit over there. I'll give it to you. What's crazy is that a good historian could point out to you that if you go back exactly 300 years, certain things that might have been in place that had already manifested themselves enough that it can be a sensible hypothetical to say that if these things would have happened with the things that were already in the place, thank you. Go, please. I'll get it. Thank you. I got to wipe it down, too. So, but thanks, though, for trying to help. A good historian will tell you these things were in place, and if these things would have happened with the things that were already in place 300 years ago, there wouldn't have been no United States of America. And if that wouldn't have been the case, and it's very possible that that could have been the case, because all of these possibilities and chances existed. Just like when you turn on Call of Duty and you just turn the damn game on for the day, whatever you are going to do, those possibilities and every other possibility programmed into the game were there. You just so happen to do this. You just so happen to walk this particular line today when you turn the fucking game on. So in life, whatever happens wasn't inevitable. It's a manifestation of cause and effect that you might not be privy to or capable or willing to recognize, but it all comes from a cause and effect. There could have been certain causes that would have affected this country in ways that would not make it this country today. So anything that happens today, I see it as just as flimsy as the fact that it could have easily had not happened. It doesn't gain any solidarity or weight to it just because this is what actually happened. I see the fact that it could have easily had not happened. So I don't give a fuck about what actually happened. I don't care. I see all of the possibilities. What actually happened is a sliver inside of reality and the possibilities, and I won't linger on this. I like lingering on what was true before this shit started and what'll be true at the end of it. The two things that are true in the before and the after, quote unquote after, that's just where my mind and my heart usually is. So I say all that to say this. Political things that happen right now, I try not to let it sway my emotions past the fact that I'm just frustrated with these kind of things. I recognize their influence on my soul's journey. I've been saying this way before I could attach my philosophy that I thought was a personal thing I was developing. It sounds so much like the Seven Hermetic Principles. It sounds so much like, could y'all be like a little quieter? It sounds so much like the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Kabbalion, the Seven Hermetic Principles. All of the things I've been building inside of myself, thinking I'm developing my own personal philosophy by thinking for myself and not outside myself, happen to sound so much like this shit that it makes me feel good. It makes me feel, some people call it confirmation bias. It's not a bias, bro. It's the fact that I think so deeply about the things that I think about that when I find something outside of myself that confirms this, it puts the power back inside of my hands, not the responsibility and the power in something external. That's why I can say this is a valid exchange of information between me and the Tibetan Book of the Day. It's a valid exchange. What's up?
You're the disc to me on my head.
Okay, she should not do that, and y'all should relax and just chill out. Okay, if you didn't mean to, then apologize.
Sorry.
Now accept the apology because you ain't even heard. We good now? Please be quieter. Please be quieter. If y'all don't like the way y'all treating each other, get away from each other. The house is big enough that you can just go to your room if you don't like what he's doing. All right? Okay. It's fugazi. It's fairy dust. Like a fart in the wind, I don't care. Whatever happens here, this manifestation, all of this shit could have been anything. I'm not gonna take this too seriously. I can't, because it could have been anything. It happens to be this. You can't declare a video game to be whatever the fuck it is when you played through the game one time. That's not what the game is. The game could have been anything. It's built to be anything, and all those possibilities are there. They were there, and they will always be there, period. We simulate what it is that we came from. We are an echo of the voice of the conscious experience. And it's real easy for me to look inside the things that we do and then reflect that onto the greater picture to say, what the fuck does that mean? And when government does all the crazy shit they do, What I know is that this is a direct correlation between what they do and how they affect my soul's journey. And I've been saying, y'all are fucking with my soul's journey. I've been using that term before I can make this connection between me and the Tibetan Book of the Dead since like 2020. In 2020, on 4/20 of 2020, I became an ordained minister, actually. Some of y'all don't know that. I'm an ordained minister, for real. A legit official ordained minister. And my religion, quote unquote religion, is simply unfettered soul searching on your soul's journey without being inhibited by anything physical, mental, emotional, sociological, or anything at all. Everybody should leave you alone. And anybody who tampers with that so that you can't just do that, they're not just fucking with you, they're fucking with your entire soul's journey, and I take it that seriously. And I've been saying that since 2020. I've been saying it out loud since then. I just now recently, in the past 6 months or so, been related everything that I've been saying to the Tibetan Book of the Dead and Hermeticism. I'm just now realizing that this is what I think I've been saying. It's right here. I don't think y'all would have came up with the Jesus story without somebody telling you. You wouldn't have said, and then there was this man named Jesus. I can feel it. Well, it was a man named something. And then when somebody tell you Jesus, then you go, that's the guy I've been thinking I've been fucking seeing in my dreams. That's not what be happening, bro. Religions are always something that if no one gave it to you, you wouldn't figure it out like that. When I shut them the fuck out, started thinking for myself, I came to the conclusion of similar to the Tibetan Book of the Dead. This is the shit that I came up with. This is what happens when they leave your soul's journey alone, so you can just think, feel, experience. When you do that, you gonna start feeling more like the Tibetan Book of the Dead, bro. You gotta wipe all that other shit away. And in the midst of all of that, like I said earlier, the trick is for you to care about everything enough for you to examine what it is that you came back here for, and then to not care so much so that you are unbothered emotionally, spiritually, or anything else in the moment of your death. You cannot be bothered. You have to accept that shit. You have to be okay, right? The only thing that could happen here in life that not only could be beneficial, but at the same time would also mean nothing to you in your own soul's journey inside of the Chania Bardo. The only thing you can really do is to spread the knowledge to somebody else so that they can save their soul. That's it. That's it. Nothing else you're ever going to do is going to be good. And what's crazy is that saving their soul is not only just telling them that they are the God within that they've been looking for. It's not external. That's the beginning. Now you got to tell them that they got all the power of creating and manifesting their reality, and that's exactly what happened. You did all this shit. It's all you. I dreamed about this house in multiple reoccurring dreams throughout my, I think these dreams might have started when I was in my teenage years. I didn't realize it was this house, but it was this house. They continue later on in my life. Then I started telling myself, why do I feel like I've been in this house before, but it looks different? I used to have, I'm going to tell you about this shit real quick. Hold on. Here, bro. There we go. Anybody else need any dessert of any kind? You ate all your food? Who wants a mini cupcake? You want a mini cupcake? I had a dream, a reoccurring dream too. That's what's crazy. It's not just one dream that shocked me. Huh? Okay. It's not a dream that I had one time and it was so profound that it stuck with me. The shit kept coming back like, nigga, when it crosses your waking life, remember this, pay close attention, and then utilize this in some way, shape, or form to further propel your fucking spiritual journey. That's what I think all of this shit was. If I stand on the balcony, once I go up my stairs, if I stand on the balcony and walk towards my bedroom, but I look to the left over the balcony at the front door and the chandelier thing hanging in front of the door and shit, I always get this eerie feeling like, why have I seen this before? Not just in my house. I thought this is the first time I walked through the house. But every time I walk through the house, in particular parts of the house, I get this eerie feeling that washes over me of, this is not the first time you have been in this house, bro. And what's crazy that in my dreams, in one of them, not from the balcony, because it only happens in certain parts of the house. The balcony upstairs, once you go up the stairs and you can overlook the front door and shit, and right here in the kitchen. Right here in the kitchen, I can see like the color of the cabinets, the door where the garage is, outside the garage. Once you get out the garage, you can walk on the side of the garage, and you can walk down these the little concrete stone steps with bushes on both sides. You can walk down to the fence where my backyard is. You can go there. There's a distorted image that I have in my mind of being at this back door, seeing all of the wood trim in the house. In the dream, it's like it's glowing like it's gold. It glows so much so that the glow blurs other things around it, but the glow is coming from the wood, right? And it's distorted because it don't look the same. But outside the back door, in the dream, my laundry room is not right there. It's beyond the door, but before the door to get out. It's weird. It's weird because it's weird. But in this dream, I'm constantly in the kitchen, in this corner of the kitchen, looking for the back door. And then when I go outside, I don't have to go around the garage because the garage isn't there. And the door is turned to the right and not straight forward. But as I go out of that door, that's turned to the right, it actually still puts me in the same direction that I would need to walk to go to the sidewalk that's got these bushes aligning the sidewalk that goes to the fence in my backyard. And in this fucking dream, there's bushes aligning the fucking sidewalk. Then the sidewalk curves and it leads someplace, and I want to go there, but I never get there when I go out of the door in the dream. And it's weird. And every time I come to this point in my house, the image will flicker in my mind when I'm trying not to think about it, when I'm not even thinking about it. It'll cross my mind in the middle of talking to my girl or some shit like that, and I'm going, why? And it's like the light shining off the cabinets. It's weird, bro, because in the dream, it's like all of the wood in the house is glowing in the dreams. And I can get that same effect from the glow. At nighttime, if I go to the top of my stairs and turn the chandelier light on that's over the foyer, I guess you call it, where you can see the front door from upstairs in the balcony, you can see down to the front door. If I turn that chandelier light on and I walk up my stairs and I look to the left, it is the closest that I can get to making the wood on the trim inside the house appear to be glowing, because the chandelier is cloudy, foggy, and it's got a yellow tint to the glass, and the bulb is probably yellow because it gives the wood that's a light brown a golden glow when I turn that fucking light on, bro. And I've been having these dreams since I was a teenager. It's crazy. And even in the dreams, I remember looking around being like, why am I in this house? Asking myself, why am I in here? I literally ask myself, why am I in here? It's just a weird thing, bro. It's a weird thing. It's a beautiful thing, though. Because what that tells me is every little thing in my life, from the point of me having them dreams until now, that made it possible for these things to happen, actually manifest like this, on some level, my soul is expected for these things to happen and for me to recognize, so that I realize I'm on a path that I'm on a familiar path. I don't know. It's weird, man. If y'all ain't never felt like that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to say. If you ain't never experienced that, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I think it's interesting. I think your life is boring if nothing like this ever happens. We supposed to cut the roses, huh? Okay, I'm gonna bring them over here. We're gonna do it. I promised my daughter we would cut the stems on these roses that I bought her mother, so we can get some clean water in there and all that, and keep the roses alive, because roses don't have to die day one. See, this is what I do. I've done this whenever I dated girls. I always do this. Whenever I start dating a girl, at least at first, when I buy the flowers, I'm not just buying flowers trying to be romantic. I buy the flowers so that I can see if she gonna nurture them flowers or not. Very often, I buy the girls flowers, the flowers will be on the table, and then they'll die there in 3 days. No water, no nothing. Okay, so this is what you gotta do, right?
Take all the flowers out of the vase.
Yeah, take all the flowers out and set these here. And you're gonna dump this water out. Now I'm gonna take the kitchen scissors. Careful.
You just shut it up and then cut it.
Yep. Now see.
Cut that off and put the...
Yep, see, this is what we gotta do. So I'm gonna turn Now see, I learned this from a show. You stay right there, okay?
Okay.
You turn on the cold water in the sink, and while you're running the end of the stem under the cold water, you cut the stem at an angle. Now I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. You cut it at an angle because then, when it's at an angle, the stem has the best chance to get really good absorption of the water into the stem to help the flower stay alive, okay?
Yeah.
So, here, let's set all of the ones that are done. Watch out. Watch out. Stay there.
So like the one that's blue, it's gonna get like.
The one that bloomed, yeah, it's gonna bloom even more, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That one. That
Flowers
means
just don't bloom. Flowers just don't bloom like that.
nope.
They can, like, they bloom more.
Yep. They bloom out and they open up, right?
Yeah.
So.
Like this one's not opened up yet.
No, not too much. It is a little bit, but that one that we saw yesterday was open up real wide, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that when I got it, but that means it was getting some good sunlight and lots of water, and that's good for it. So you just cut just a little bit off, maybe like a ½ inch off the stem.
Jack?
Probably shouldn't, but I'll show you, and next time maybe you can try, okay?
There's just there.
What?
There's kid scissors.
There's kid scissors, but okay, I'll let you try one in a second, okay? Just one, all right? Let me cut all of them, then I'll let you try one, and then you can try one too, okay?
I don't want to.
You don't want to cut one? Okay. So, the thing about, step back, I see you. Step back, stay out the way. Maybe someday I'll let you guys get on my YouTube, okay?
Okay.
I'm still wondering if, you know, if that's good and if it's safe, because sometimes people act weird, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's good or if that's safe right now, but maybe, all right?
Okay.
Okay, that's rose number 3. All right, we're gonna get them done. So, what's important to me, I think, in regards to life on planet Earth, is that you play the game because you are in the middle of a game, right? And that's okay. You play the game, but you cannot forget that it's a game. You have to know that you're being played with.
Rose number 4.
That anything here is a part of a system that could have been anything at all. It just so happened to be what it was when you showed up. None of that matters. There's no way that something like the spiritual presence of consciousness, there's no way that that's going to be a thing
Daddy, what am I gonna
that will be,
What am I gonna do?
I'm gonna let you do the last one, okay? There's no way that a spiritual presence will be that strong for you to be locked in to a battle over your awareness because you were born in 1980. None of that matters. There's so much influence to be addressed in the fact that you were born at the time that you were born at, that your soul's journey has to supersede that kind of an influence to be bigger and more spiritually anchored into something that will make the time in history that you were born mean nothing. That's how strong your soul is. That's how powerful it is. That none of that matters. It's not going to change anything or give you some kind of a benefit per se. The greatest benefit that you possibly could have ever had is to have knowledge of the awareness of the Bardos, and then totally absent of a large social presence, because you'll be tainted by that. You'll be tainted by all of society's fucking bullshit and fears and prejudices and biases and ignorances. You'll be at the mercy of all of those things, which we all are. And to me, I think it's the greatest.
Can I do the blue one? Like the...
Which one is that one? This one? Yeah, you can do that one. Life on planet Earth is perfect to counteract the point of the Bardos. It's perfect. It is exactly what will be needed to trap you inside of the fucking game. So much so that you can know what it is, still don't mean you're gonna get out. I know what it is. That don't guarantee me nothing.
That one you're holding right now is a baby one.
Yeah, that one hasn't opened up much yet. But that means that it might be needing some sunlight, and a little bit of water.
Yeah.
Right? There's even some of them that have like the petals on it are kind of withering and they're kind of really wrinkled and kind of brown on the edge. You need some water, need some sunlight. That's what that means, because it's a rose with a long stem. It's got a lot of life to give. But it's not getting what it needs, and that's why it looks like that, right? All right, I got this one, and then you can cut that last one, all right?
Are you sure you don't want to do that?
I'm gonna end this live stream here pretty soon. I just want to reiterate that your soul's journey is being attacked, and not just your freedom, or they trying to take away your freedom to say whatever you want. Of course, you got the freedom and the right to say whatever you want and protect your life with whatever you put your fucking hands on. You have that. The fact that they've gotten you to argue and debate and to fight about it is a fucking distraction. It's a big distraction. I don't even want to give them my energy like that. I don't care about arguing and debating with them to see who's going to win a debate. You can't win a debate over something like that. You can't win a debate over something like that. The fact of the matter is, I don't care about none of that shit no more. I only care about preserving my life so that I can harness all of the intellectual attention that needs to be placed, and the spiritual attention that needs to be placed on this idea of the Bardos, so that I can learn like Jesus must have done, right? Like God must be doing to be all-knowing and to allow anything to happen down here with the free will. You have to be emotionally divorced from that if you also do that, right? Even your Christian God is saying there's something great about being in the presence of the great consciousness and being emotionally divorced about what's going on down here. That's exactly what a Christian God must be doing if you apply the Christian God and all of them attributes to the manifestation of free will and what's going on planet Earth. He is not hurt by that. His emotions aren't driving him crazy by that. There's no spiritual depression for a God, the great consciousness. No. There is, by pure and honest, like logical thinking and observation, there must be, even in the idea of a Christian God, some way, somehow that he is emotionally divorced from any kind of outcome on this bitch, don't give a fuck about none of it. Or else you'd have to say he's disappointed, crying, weeping, sad, upset, depressed, longing for it to be right, anticipating the day that it is right. None of that sounds like the attributes of a God. It makes no sense. A God is divorced and above all of these things, but you're the God. See what I'm saying? But you're the God, though. So that means you also have to do that. You have to rise above the emotional state that you have in anything down here turning out in any way, shape, or form, good or bad. It doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. You get it? Do you get it? Okay, then. That don't mean be destructive or let your life go or not live for something. You're supposed to like indulge in life, right? Figure out what you're here for and then let that shit go. I'm gonna let my daughter cut this. This is the one she wanted to cut. The one that bloomed the most. It's actually, you know, you're not supposed to touch rose petals either, right? Different things on your hands can get on there and contaminate and mess it up. But I really do see the center of that rose. It kind of collapsed a little bit, right? We're gonna see if we can get there some water and some sunlight and some light to see if to watch it change, because it will change. Flowers move. They love water. They love sunlight. They move and they grow.
This one bloomed a little too.
That one bloomed a little bit. That one's really pretty. That's a really pretty one.
That's what that one's for.
Yeah. So RPM Trade Vietnam and his bitch Wu Bang get a gun today. Tell the government to leave you the fuck alone so you can enjoy your soul's journey and try and figure all your shit out. There's something that you need to be figuring out here. And there's distractions up the wazoo to keep you from focusing, bro. You are so bombarded by distractions that they can look at you and guarantee that if you pick Democrat or Republican, whether you're Russian or Nigerian, your ass is going to be back through the Bardos, bro, because none of you motherfuckers are going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out, right? If you knew that you were all one, then you would realize, well, we're all one. If I hurt you or hurt you, that is self-inflicting pain that can do nothing but trap me in the Bardos, and I must let those things go. You got to divorce your emotional life here. You got to let that shit go, bro. RPM Trade Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang get a gun today, boy. Don't be a bitch about it now. It's okay to protect yourself. Defense is always right.